Finishing up our second practice test for Chapter 7 in Algebra 2, take a look at number 21, last page of the test. Which data set is more spread out? Well, we don't even have to look at the means. Just look which sigma is bigger. You can see a sigma of 35, sigma of 70 is bigger, so we'd say set B is more spread out. Sigma is a measurement of how spread out the data is. The bigger sigma is, the more spread out the data is. For number 22, and actually number 23 as well, you can use your calculator to get a considerable amount of help here. Typing it in is critical though. Hit your square root, second x squared, x minus a 1. Hit the right arrow right now to move out of the root, then hit minus 3. And you could, of course, hit zoom 6 to get a pretty good idea as to what that thing looks like. But even more importantly, the table gives you so much information. Second graph is how you get the table. You can see you have a lot of errors until you get to x equals 1. And then we start seeing actually some friendly points. You can see a 1 comma negative 3. You can even begin to write that down. It looked like we also had 2 comma negative 2. You can hit the down arrow as well and just continue to see what other friendly points we might have. 5 negative 1, 10 0. And of course we could plot these. 1 to the right, go down 3. 2 to the right, go down 2. 5 to the right, 3, 4, 5, go down 1. And 10 is on this far edge here. That's 10 comma 0. And of course, if you ever wanted to see the picture again, you can see it looks something like this. This is your general shape of a square root function. So it looks something just like so. The domain refers to the x values. And I'd like to point the table out to you once again. That the very first x value that you see being used is a 1. And you can, in fact, get bigger than it. The first y value that you see being used is negative 3. And then you see it's getting larger as well. So you can say x greater than or equal to 1, y greater than or equal to negative 3. You're also saying that this graph is going to be to the right of x equals 1, and it's going to be above a y value of negative 3, which is exactly what we're seeing. For number 23, I do want to point out what I've told so many kids before. The domain and the range for a cube root will always be all reals. Very important to remember the general shape of a cube root looks something like this letter S that's being stretched out. You do have a center point and so forth. But you're going to continue to rise up and fall down to the right and the left. Negatives are allowed inside of cube roots. You'll never get an error. So to finish this up, let's go to y equals. To get the third root, we press math. Come down here to number 4. And we'll type in x plus 3. Hit your right arrow to move out, and then hit plus 1. Now, of course, you can hit graph, and you can pretty much see that S shape taking place right here. But going to second table is so incredibly helpful. You're going to be able to see some friendly points, and I see several of them around negative 4, negative 3, negative 2. Sadly, it's at negative 11 actually, where you're at negative 1. But you can begin to see negative 4, we were at 0. It looked like negative 3, we were at 1. I think at negative 2, we were at 2. And we can down arrow just a little bit and see that we get 5 comma 3. Again, notice you won't see errors showing up anywhere. But let's begin to plot this out. -4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps over here. By the way, we also saw -11, -1. That's going one step beyond, kind of like down here. -3, 1. So we'll go 3 steps to the left, move up 1. -2, 2 to the left, but we move up 2. 5, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll go up 3. You can see that S shape showing up more or less right over here. So that's what our shape's going to be. Domain and range are always going to be all reals. And that wraps up the 4th page of our practice test.